What is going on, you mother puckers? That's right, PuckTime here on WagerTalk TV. And no Andrew McGinnis on the show. He's in parts unknown. You know, the Canadiens play tonight, and he said, you know what, forget it. I'm not coming back unless the Canadiens win. I don't know if that's true or not, but no Andrew McGinnis, but we do have free plays coming for you, a 3-pack of Game 6s in NHL action tonight. How should you be betting them? You're going to find out right here. Dan Alexander filling in for the great Andrew McGinnis. And, of course, the man you know and love is here. Carmine Bianco. Carm, you called me out of you called me out of retirement. You
Yes.
me and you say, Dan, buddy, I need someone to come on with me. Nobody wants to do puck time. I said, Carm, we're in the midst of an incredible opening round of NHL, and we can't get any of these dudes to come on puck time. You knew I was going to be here, and it has nothing to do with the fact that my Flyers are already signed, sealed, delivered into the next round.
Yeah, they are signed, sealed, and delivered. And can they pull off the upset against the Carolina Hurricanes? We will wait and see, because I don't think people thought they would beat Pittsburgh, and they did that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Another Canadian team bites the dust and disappoints me, because I had the Edmonton Oilers last night as a play. They just never showed up. They never figured out this Anaheim team. And kudos to Anaheim on getting by the Oilers, which, given the goaltending, may not seem like that big a feat, but it's what happened, man. It's just Connor, a lot. This is where all the speculation from the fan bases, Dan, starts. As soon as your team's eliminated, we got to get a goalie. We got to get defense. We got to get rid of our coach. With that said, no, it happens. It happens with every team.
I know.
It's going to happen if Tampa gets eliminated tonight. We're going to talk about that game next. It is the same thing. What happens with that team with some aging veterans on it, similar to what's happening in Pittsburgh right now. With that said, welcome to everyone in the chat. Hit that like button and drop a comment in the comments section or a question you might have. But Dan, let's get to the first game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can check out Carm, WT.buzz/CB, bounce back mode, but that's no problem. Carm, we'll talk about what Carm's rocking with this evening. But as Carm said, let's get into it. While you're hanging out with us, hit that like button if you haven't already subscribed. So close to 250,000 subscribers. Don't miss out. Be one of them. But Carm, you talked about upsets, and for what it's worth, man, if you just looked at this series before things, the puck dropped, so to speak, this was the young, scrappy team versus all of the playoff pedigree and all of the playoff experience between these two teams. And now we're seeing the young, scrappy upstarts as the team sitting here with a chance to punch their ticket to the next round. Game 6 goes tonight. We're still seeing Lightning here as the favorite, but for all intents and purposes, Carm, this is a pick'em game. This is a coin toss game. Total sitting right around 5.5. I'm wondering for you, Carm, are these scrappy upstart Andrew McGinnis loving, Don Buster loving Montreal Canadiens going to get the job done tonight? Or are you looking to attack this a little bit different?
Yeah, this is a series, and you said it's a coin flip. It essentially is a coin flip. It's one that very likely should go to Game 7 in Tampa Bay, and then even there, I don't think the Lightning would be a huge favorite to get on through. I told people in Game 5, prior to Game 5, don't lay $1.77 on Tampa Bay. Montreal at plus 143, 144, 145, whatever the number was the play that you had to take. This is as even a series as you can get. From an analytics perspective, let's look at this. Montreal through 5 games, 14.4 expected goals generated. Tampa Bay 13.96. And on the actual score sheet, 14 goals for Montreal, 13 for Tampa Bay. So basically the same number in XG, separated by half a goal, and 1 goal separates how many goals these teams have scored in this series. It's been one of those sort of zigzag kind of series, and I would love nothing better than Montreal to close it out tonight, but I have a sneaky suspicion of all the series that are left, this is the one that's likely to go to 7 games. So with that said, I'm taking Tampa Bay in this game.
Tampa Bay. All right. So we're getting another game. According to our man, Carmine Bianco, there will be a game 7, and he agrees with the slight favorite for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Comment below and let us know what you're thinking about that game there. And Carm, I see behind you a lovely backdrop that you have. You'd like me to look up there at that check that you got from Circa for cashing in. That's what you want me to look at. But where my eye truly goes is to over your shoulder, where the Buffalo Bills helmet sits, because the Buffalo Sabres came into this postseason, as everyone's darling. And then Josh Allen comes out, can barely chug a light beer. And then, oh shit, we got a series here with Buffalo. So, Carm, I want to get your thoughts on this game, but does Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills somehow have something to blame with the fact that Buffalo could potentially be going 7 games here? Bruins with that nice 2-1 overtime win, another tight game. The Bruins have just made this series mucky. They haven't allowed the Buffalo Sabres to dominate teams like they had in the regular season. They're making the Sabres get down in the mud. And Sabres, for all, for what we have seen thus far, the games when they get punched in the mouth a little bit, haven't really seen them respond all that well. Now they are minus 120 favorites. You can shop around. Price is a little bit better. Another 5.5 games. So Carm, this game is expected to be tight. It's expected to have a lot to do with defense and goaltending. And, you like the road team in the last one. Do the Sabres get this one done, or is this one going to go back to Buffalo? What say you, Mr. Bills, and that stank that Josh Allen rubbed on this team?
Yeah, I think that drink wasn't even a beer. I think it was like one of those Shasta drinks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Depends. When he came on and started beating on that drum, the first thing I thought was, oh God, this is like when the announcer says this guy hasn't missed from 43 yards in 3 years, and then he shanks one off the upright or whatever. But with that said, let's put all mushes aside. I'm hoping the Sabres close it out tonight. Titans, it's going to be a tough one, and it's a tough one because right now the Bruins are getting, with the exception of one game, game 4, the Bruins are getting exceptional goaltending from Jeremy Swayman. He has been their star thus far on this team. You look at the Sabres. Sabres have created 20.13 of XG, only scored 16 goals. So as far as the goalie goes, 4 above expected. You look at Boston. Boston's generated 15.56 of XG, 5 less than the Sabres, and have scored 5 less goals than the Sabres. They have 11 goals scored in this one. This is one of those ones where the Sabres need to get off to a good start. If the Bruins come out and the Sabres are unprepared to play in this game 6, and when you say, how can you be unprepared to play in a playoff game? It happens. Teams just come out and they look flat, and it's just because the other team looks better and takes it to them from the get-go. The Sabres need to get the lead in this game, get out of the first 20 minutes, quiet the crowd, take them out of the game, and play like the Sabres have played all year off of a loss, or at least since December, where they seem to bounce back and respond. Do they do it here? I would like to think so. I'm likely going to pass on the side on this game because I very well think it could go 7 games, but I'll be cheering for the Bruins. I like the under. Swayman's playing well. Alex Line is playing well. Alex Line in 3 games since coming in for Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen has only allowed 4 goals. So in 3 games, he is doing what he needs to do. Swayman is doing what he needs to do. Absent of some penalties and power plays tonight, and even the Sabres power play, 1 power play goal in the last 38 opportunities. I don't see a lot of goals in this game. I think the under is the way to go.
Carmen, does it worry you at all? And obviously, past success, no indicator of future results, but does it worry you at all when sweating out that under? Just like you said, if Buffalo can't get to a lead early, that's where it starts becoming a defensive struggle. But in this series, two overs, and then you had the under, and then an over, and now you just had that overtime under with that zigzag nature of offense exploding, then it being a defensive battle. Does that worry you at all for this under? Or are you thinking, hey, it's 5.5, it's 5.5 for a reason? Guys are grabbing their sticks a little bit tighter once you're in these closeout type games. Is that really why you're confident that even though this is a lower total, so to speak, 5.5 is up there for a reason?
Yeah, I think it's up there for a reason. We just have to go back to game 4.
Good point.
Where Jeremy Swayman gets pulled. The Bruins get embarrassed on home ice 6-1. The last time they were on home ice, it was an embarrassing loss for them. So, and they were booed off the ice. So you have to figure it's going to be a better defensive performance from them. And they really stifled the Sabres in game 5. They did everything they could to keep the Sabres off the score sheet. The shot totals down. These are just two teams that are playing to the under. And I feel the same way as I did with the Flyers and Penguins final game, in which, I like the under in that game, and it was 5.5, and it was decided in double overtime, 1-0 scoreline. So those are the ones you don't mind sweating when at the end of the first, it's no score, end of the second, no score, end of the third, you're a winner. So those are the good ones. The bad ones are when you have the under 5.5 and 3 minutes in, it's already 2-2 because these guys can't play.
Yeah, and one thing that I was going to say, if you don't really agree with Carm and you want to look towards the over in this game, I would probably try and ISO in on the team that you think is going to be scoring and bet their team total over, rather than taking that 5.5 over, because you're seeing both of them sitting at 2.5. It's a little bit juiced to the over, but that's what we've kind of seen in this series is the team that wins, they likely get an empty net goal towards the end of the game, or that they just are able to get up by that 3 goals and then kind of cruise a little bit. So I'm with Carm. I think this is going to be a defensive game. I'm saying if you in the chat, who sometimes like to disagree, and that's fine, all opinions are welcome here, I would probably try and ISO in on the side that you like more, bet their team total over. That's my thoughts as not a hockey guy here, just helping fill in for Andrew McGinnis. Carm, before we talk the Golden Knights taking on the Utah Mammoth, we have a terrific special that just started today to open up this month. That is, you can take $100 off, get 30 days of all access. Not only are you taking $100 off that price, we're throwing 10 days on. So, Carm, this is a great opportunity for people to rock through you through the postseason and get any other releases that you or other cappers have over at the page. So what do you got rocking tonight? I know we mentioned we're in bounce back mode, but that's all good, baby. That's what we do here because this is a hell of a deal that if people want to take advantage of, the sooner you take advantage of it, the more it behooves you heading through the end of this Stanley Cup stretch.
Yeah, no, that's a great deal because picking it up now basically takes you to June the 10th because you're getting an extra 10 days on it. And that's pretty much when the Stanley Cup is coming to an end. Baseball's still in full flight. All the soccer leagues in Europe and the European championships like Champions League and Europa League are just finishing off. So that package would cover pretty much everything. And then you guys get to relax, count your money, and get ready for the World Cup, which starts a week after that on the 16th.
Oh, dude, I cannot. And folks, if you haven't subscribed already, the World Cup content is going to be terrific. Carmine Bianco, Pablos Lagaretos, myself, maybe we'll even hop in there with you a little bit. Yes. Carm, as you know, I dabble on the side as a bit of a soccer handicapper. So we'll talk a little World Cup with these guys. Hit that subscribe button, folks, because you don't want to miss it. We're going to talk futures, teams you should be fading, teams you should be betting on, teams you should completely avoid come World Cup time. So that's a reason to subscribe. I saw somebody commented here. They were asking, anybody got a confident UFC parlay? Stay tuned because 45 minutes from now, Andy Lang and I are going to be on WagerTalk today. So the solution, come join us 45 minutes from now. I will get Andy to give you a parlay in UFC action. So I got your back, brother, but you got to come back in 45 minutes. Appreciate that.
There is.
All right, Carm, what's up?
Yeah. For those of you watching who haven't watched WagerTalk today, and I think that's highly unlikely that you haven't watched WagerTalk today, absolutely a wealth of information there from different handicappers, and then the around the world stuff that you and Andy do.
Yeah,
Absolutely
good
phenomenal.
time. The
Absolutely
Wager Talk
phenomenal.
today, play of the day. First minute of the show, we give a play. Andy cashed another one, which I believe brings us to either 8-4, no, 9-4, 9-4 on those plays. So the first 4 minutes, you've gotten a play that's been cashing. Out of 13 times, 9 times we've cashed in on it. So more reasons than ever to check it out, folks. I won't belabor the point, but check out Wager Talk today. And Carm, let's talk this last game. Carm does have his NHL play of the day coming up, so don't go anywhere. But Golden Knights, talk about OT winners. That was just like the trend, or the theme of Wednesday's game was who gets the job done in overtime. The Golden Knights get it done at home. So now they take their lead to the road. So 3 situations that are all essentially the same. You got a 3-2 team who's looking to close it out on the road. All of them are favorites. Are they favorites for a reason? And Carm, again, expected to be tight, even though the last one saw 9 goals. They're throwing up another 5.5 here for the total. So interesting way to break this one down. But Carm, don't you just bet this game? Why don't you go to overtime? Make it 3 straight games that go to overtime, right? Because this has been the overtime series, man.
Yeah, and I'm loving it. I would love nothing better than this series to go 7 games and for there to be overtime. If our good friend Tom Viola, who went to the last Vegas Golden Knights game, gets to see a game 7, he'd probably lose it.
Real quick. So our man Tom Viola, he runs our sister page Picks and Parlays, which is another wealth of information to check out here on YouTube and picksandparlays.net. Did you know that in overtime he bet the overtime goal scorer, the guy who scored?
Did he?
He threw like $200 on it or something. Paid out $5,000. So he won $5,000 live in the stadium he called his shot on who was going to score the overtime goal. So when you mentioned that he was there, I had to mention the dude cashed a $5,000 ticket on an overtime goal scorer. Yeah. Good stuff by our man, Tommy V. Well done.
All right. It looks like Tom's buying drinks at the next Wager Talk friends and family get together. Definitely. So, start pouring those Negronis, Mr.
How about
Viola.
this game, though, Carm? What do we think?
Yeah. I want this to go 7 games. I'm pulling for Utah in this one. I get it. Vegas is playing extremely well, but these games have been decided by coin flips in OT. You look at it, and like even the XG, Vegas has created 8.18 of XGs. They've scored 18 goals. Utah's created 1548. They've scored 17 goals. Essentially, the scorers are doing what they're supposed to be doing. The goalies have not been stand out in this series. And this is why at the beginning of the NHL playoffs, I thought that this would likely be the highest scoring series of the first round. That was before the Edmonton Oilers decided they had no goaltending, which I think they already knew. So the Anaheim one took over. But this 5 of the every game but one has had at least 6 goals in it. I think the over is the right way to go in this game. It's currently sitting at 5.5 and shaded to the over about 20-25 cents. I think that's the way to go in this one. It's a closeout game for Vegas. Utah is going to play the same as they have all series long. Crash the net, get pucks on goal, and try and put some pressure on Carter Hart in that Vegas net. So let's see 7 games in this series. I'm pulling for Utah. I think the better play is the over here.
Yeah, and Carm, I mean, this is the textbook example. Our man Joe Ranieri, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 5-4 overtime. 5-4 overtime. 4-2 win for Utah. Then you have the 3-2 win for Utah. So there's your under, folks. 4-2 in game 1 for Vegas there. So one time in this series, we've gone under 5.5. This feels like the odds makers, it was pretty formulaic of just saying, all right, 3 closeout games. Let's throw up 5.5 across the board, defensive hockey. So if you want to catch the falling knife, Be my guest. Be the contrarian on the under. But goals, goals, goals has been the theme of this series, and the goaltending has a lot to do with it. That's for damn sure, Carm. So three games tonight, folks. Carm's giving you 3 bets on all of them. Brian Leonard, our friend, has a 5%er that's rocking tonight. WT.buzz/BL. You can buy that play, or you can get that 30-day all-access add-on 10. That play will be included in it. So shout out to our man, Brian Leonard. You know him. You love him. He's got a 5%er rocking tonight. Carm, but the people want some free stuff. You know, the client plays, they're all good and well, right? And I would go over to WagerTalk and check them out. But if you're watching on YouTube, all we ask you to do, hit that like button and subscribe. That's your price for admission. And you get free plays. And Carm, the Carmine Bianco pick of the day, while it's AI slop graphic, it has been very profitable for folks. So what are we looking for tonight? What's our pick of the night, Carm?
You know, some of the, you walk into a Peter Luger's restaurant, Dan, and it looks like nothing, but it's a Michelin star restaurant. It is. And it's got German beer steins on the wall. The servers are all white-haired men in their 60s, but it's Peter Luger's and it's a Michelin star. So sometimes you don't judge a book by its cover. And with that said, do not judge these graphics without cover. Anyways, I am going right back to this Vegas Golden Knights Utah game, over 5.5 -123. The goalies have not been spectacular in this series. So there's not that thought of how are they going to score on this guy? They've been scoring on both of these goalies. They've scored 35 goals in this series. They've generated 34 XG. 4 of the 5 games have gone over the total. We're going to make it 5 of 6 heading back home to T-Mobile Arena for Game 7. That is your play of the day, over 5.5 -123.
Oh, I love it. We're going with the over 5.5, and we got 805 Noodles, Carm, asking me, hey, Dan, we need you to give a guest host prop of the day. So let me pull up. I mean, I was talking about those team totals. They're a little bit too juiced, and I don't want to fade Carm looking towards that under in that game.
So you wouldn't take the Bruins team total under 2.5 plus?
No. I do like this one. This is not what I'm doing, but a 36-1 ticket. How about Habs chat saying, let's go. Habs lay the goal and a half. Buffalo lay the goal and a half. Vegas lay the goal and a half. 36-1. Or Habs chat, what you can do, Venmo at Newbie Talks. Whatever you're going to bet on that ticket, just Venmo it to me. That's what you could do for that one. I don't know, Carm. What about? It's a little juiced. I was going to look at Pasternak points over.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's what we'll do. Where's my shots on goal? Let me get shots on goal here.
Jeremy Swayman over on his saves.
No, so there's actually, I know exactly what I'm going to do here. Points and assists, scroll on down, player 1+ point, Charlie McAvoy to record a point. That's my bet. -125, Charlie McAvoy to record at least a point. Andy and I had cashed in on this dude so many times that when I see his name up there, I just want to bet C-Mac. So C-Mac -125 to record a point. Let it be the single goal of the game so Carm gets his under as well. There you go, Carm.
Can we make it the only goal that Boston scores and the Sabres win 2-1?
Okay, that's fine with me. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Charlie McAvoy gets 1. Sabres win 2-1. Game goes under. Everybody's happy. So that's my pick. Charlie McAvoy to record a point tonight. That's
and a bonus one. I'll throw in Jeremy Swayman over 25.5 saves.
Ooh.
-130. The Sabres are going to pelt the goal tonight. I don't think they want this to go back home to KeyBank Center or KeyBank Arena for Game 7, because if it does, the Bruins can put a lot of fear into teams. So Bad Carm.
I like it. So we got some
so
saves, we got some props, and we got 3 bets for you, including Carm's play of the day. The play of the day, one that I'm co-signing. I'm betting it with you there, Carm. Let's get Vegas and Utah to go over the number there. Carm, always a pleasure, buddy. One more time, remind folks what you got rocking. WT.buzz/CB is where you can get Carm's premium plays. And folks, I suggest you do so, Carm. What do you got rocking tonight, and how's the weekend looking to shaping up for you?
Yeah, so a couple games. No soccer this afternoon. There's a couple games, but nothing that I think have any value. But a couple of games in the NHL for tonight, and then a huge weekend of plays, especially Saturday. Saturday is going to be like a volume day for me, with a lot of very good European football games and games being played here in the MLS as well too. And then of course the NHL cards and a couple of baseball. So those, either the 30-day all access, I think it's a great deal, $199, and you're going to get 40 days, which is going to cover a lot right up until the World Cup. I believe the Stanley Cup will be done by then, when the Sabres beat the Colorado Avalanche in 5 games. But with that said, Dan, I'm done.
I love it. That's Carmine Bianco. It always screws me up because it's reversed. But this is Carmine Bianco. You can follow him on Twitter at Carmine Bianco WT. You can follow me at Newbie Talks. I will be back a little over 30 minutes. We got Wager Talk today. Teddy covers. Marco D'Angelo talking Derby and MLB. We got Andy dropping props. We're going to look to make it 3 straight on our Wager Talk today play of the day. And Andy and I at WT.buzz/AL. One of our biggest lacrosse plays of the season goes tonight. It's going to be up, and we'll talk about it on Wager Talk today. Carm, thanks for letting me fill in. Appreciate you, buddy. Anytime you need someone, you know I got your back, brother. The beauty and the beast, and we'll let you figure out which one of us is which. So Carm, best of luck this weekend. We'll see you on Monday, everyone. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned here as Wager Talk TV continues to get you all